I want to welcome everybody to the month of humility. But to do that, I want us to first listen to a story I heard from a colleague and a friend of mine as he visited the tombstone of Ralph Waldo Emerson.
How many of us know Ralph Waldo Emerson? So some of it, yay, look at that. Well, all of you should, because he is a UU saint. If we kind of have saints, right? This is a man who was a Unitarian minister, but what makes him most widely known is that he was also a critical thinker. He was a person who was a philosopher and affected all of our American culture in so many ways. And my friend said that huge shadow, so to speak, of Ralph Waldo Emerson was evident in his tombstone, because when he went to visit the tombstone right there in the graveyard where he's at, it's not really even a tombstone. It's this giant pink granite rock. And on that is a plaque that reads Ralph Waldo Emerson. And then the byline reads something to the effect of, this was the mouthpiece, the voice of the divine. Pretty impressive on your tombstone, right? But my friend said what struck him most was literally when he went one row back from that giant granite stone, one row back and one to the right, he found the tombstone of Ralph Waldo Emerson's brother. And this isn't made up. This isn't a lie. And right in the shadow of that giant granite tombstone was his brother's tombstone. And on it, it read, "Here lies Edward Emerson." And his byline says, "He did the best he could."
So as you saw in the clip, people laughed. And it's okay to laugh. I even laughed after I heard that story. I even felt sorry for Emerson's brother. That's not a shadow that's easy to live in. But then I learned this. My friend who went to visit Emerson's grave also let me know that Emerson's brother was actually as loved as Emerson was during his life. Now, part of that, it turns out, is because Emerson's brother had this clever, sarcastic, even ironic sense of humor, as was evident from the words that he had put on his grave. But the other reason that Emerson's brother was loved as much as Emerson was that his brother loved people who did their best. Loved people who did their best. I love that. And I think that's exactly what this whole month of humility is actually about, right at its core. It's about realizing that we're people that doesn't celebrate greatness as much as people who celebrate those who simply do the best with their lives. It's about celebrating and lifting up people who aren't trying to compete with some kind of status or achieve some kind of societal greatness, but simply know deeply who they are and live out of that sense of who they are. And because of that, offer all of us and even life a great gift. It is, I guess I'd like to say, a humbler, a completely different understanding of what it means to be human. So we have a personal challenge for everybody. Figure out your own way of being uniquely humble. Certainly come to all the sermons this month and certainly talk about the topic in your small group. But what we really hope is that everyone will take the programming and take the discussions of church and pull it into your own life. And in the solitude of your own home and your own life, figure out one way to be uniquely humble. And humility is not about realizing how small you are or how weak you are. But for us, it's about realizing how you don't have to do life all by yourself, and that there are people all around you and behind you and under you, holding you up all the time.